The year is 1745. Prince Charles Edward Stuart, the grandson of the deposed King James, has just set sail from France for the west coast of Scotland. His plan is to raise a Jacobite army, march into England, and take the throne of Britain from King George. Now Charles wants to start a rising, and he wants help from France. So he asked King Louis XV of France if he would help. King Louis said, "I'll think about it," which in Charles's mind means yes. So, Charles lands on the west coast of Scotland, and by autumn, he's in Glenfinnan, where he raises his father's standard and rallies 1,500 Highland clansmen to come and fight for him. The fourth Jacobite rising has begun. Now, for Charles's Jacobite rising to succeed, he needs three things. He needs to get all the Highland clans to come and rally to his cause. He needs to get all the English Jacobites to come out and fight for him. And he needs continued support from France, be it weapons, money, or ammunition. Charles never really got any of these things. If he was able to rally all the Highland clans of Scotland, instead of having 1,500 men at Glenfinnan, he could have had around 40,000. Some clans abstained, did not want to take any part, and some clans actually supported the Hanoverian government and fought against Bonnie Prince Charlie here at the Battle of Culloden. While there were enough English Jacobites to form their own regiment, the Manchester Regiment, this was only around 300 men, and actual English Jacobite recruitment was extremely disappointing. This might be because in 1715, during that Jacobite rising, many English came out to support the Jacobites, and when that rising was defeated, let's just say they weren't treated so nicely afterwards. Meanwhile, Britain was at war with France again, so the British Navy was preventing any French ships from landing in their territory, and while a few did manage to sneak through, not many did. This does not put off Charles, who has now begun to march south into England, gathering more men every single day. By the 4th of December, his army now numbers 10,000, the largest Jacobite army that has ever existed. And they have reached Derby, the furthest south the Jacobites have ever got. Derby is roughly 125 miles outside of London, or a 3 full day march. London is literally just within reach, and is naturally in an utter state of panic. The banks are closing, people are running around like headless chickens, the news is breaking of savage Highland Scots coming down to eat your children. King George has said he will stand and fight. This is the same King George who was reportedly seen packing all his belongings onto a ship. The next day, however, on the 5th of December, news comes to Charles, and he holds a court of his war council. To the north of the Jacobites are 2 government armies, and between him and London is a 3rd, large government army. Now Charles still wants to march on to London, he is still determined to take the throne. His war council, however, are telling him, you cannot take on 3 government armies and take London without any help from France, and where are those English Jacobites you promised would come out and fight for us? So they propose turning the entire Jacobite army around and heading back north into Scotland, to winter in the Highlands, gather more men, gather more supplies, and try for England the next year. Charles does not want to do this, but is eventually persuaded to do so. And on the 6th of December, the Jacobites begin the retreat back into Scotland. Those 2 armies to the north of the Jacobites were too far away and would not have reached them in time. That 3rd army between him and London did not exist. Fake news implanted by government spies. So, if Charles did indeed march on to London, he could have been unopposed. He maybe could have taken the throne. This battle probably would not have happened. As the Jacobites are heading north into Scotland, they are being pursued by William Augustus, the Duke of Cumberland, the second and favourite living son of King George II. And the Duke of Cumberland has currently been overseeing the British fight the French in Flanders. And when he is called to come and fight the Jacobites, he has no time for this whatsoever. He wants to crush this Jacobite rising as quickly as possible so he can get back to what he calls the real war in Flanders. By April of 1746, the Jacobites have been pushed as far north as they are ever going to get, and they have one last stronghold.